Corruption, royalty, creepers and frauds. All of this came together to make the first ever civilization, the Graymane Realm. All of this history in today's video is true and can be found in the Graymane Realm's history books. If you would like to join the Graymane Realm, make sure to join our Discord. There's a link to which is in the description and we will help you out. In the summer of 2018, a player called Apex joined the Graymane Realm. Apex had a great love for trees, and this would become the theme of the jungle civilization, as he set up a tree right outside spawn and sworn to protect the trees from griefers or lumberjack. He had a great love for enchantments and redstone, and even set up his own shop just outside the jungle tree, which sold enchantments to other players in the world. He even sworn to protect oak trees as well as jungle trees, and became the first ever player to make law just below the entrance to his house. He also became the first ever player to make a fully operational enchantment table, and this was right at the peaky point of his house. He even made the first ever and only ever working lighthouse in the nearly 4 years history of the Graymane Realm. As the civilization grew, a player called Auburn now arrived in the Graymane Realm, and he travelled just outside spawn to find a lake. He then built a leaf bridge and also put some cobblestone for light, and he set up camp on the other side of this bridge. Auburn and other members of the jungle civilization also set up many farms, sugarcane, cactuses, wheat all included. It's important to note at this point the jungle people did not consider themselves to be a jungle civilization, and were just a group of friends collaborating together to make sure they survived in the Graymane Realm. Around the end of July of 2018, Auburn considered himself the jungle queen, and he also asked Sir Papa Fox could he have full control and ownership over the jungle with support of his jungle civilization. All the civilization agreed, and they all respected Auburn as their new leader. Again, it's still important to note that they still did not consider themselves a civilization, and Auburn set up many mines that went deep in the jungle, as well as also making sure all the players had full iron armor. This was quite revolutionary at the time for the jungle civilization, as most players struggled for iron, diamonds and gold. Just outside the jungle tunnel to the right, there was where Auburn lived, in the mountain in the jungle civilization. A player called Wienerbag also lived here, however they both only had one bed. One night, whilst out adventuring, Auburn stumbled across a creeper. He panicked and thought the creeper was going to kill him, however strangely enough the creeper didn't. Auburn named this creeper Joe and couldn't wait to show Joe to the rest of the jungle civilization. Joe seems to be a friendly creeper, and the jungle civilization considered him some sort of god. Joe then passed away by unknown circumstances, and the jungle civilization then held a funeral for him. They also made him a statue in the main part of the city with Sir Papa Fox's permission, and that statue was well respected by all members of the world, not just the jungle civilization. However, all these good times were soon going to come to an end, through both Apex and other players were found to be corrupted and duplicating in the world, as well as other players just leaving because they had other commitments in the real world. With Sir Papa Fox also taking a break from streaming, the world won't get revived again until the following year. And by then, there's a very different group of players in the world. In late 2019, with the growth of Sir Papa Fox's Twitch channel, the Graymane Realm now hit high player counts, and there needed to be more space to build houses. The jungle, or the first part of the jungle, was stripped down along with the jungle civilization. The lake that Auburn first travelled across still stood there, and the farms were still used by the new players that housed in the tree's absence. There was many new housing estates put in place, and most of the regulars set up camp on the hills that Auburn once had his house. However, it is important to note that his house was also stripped away of the hill, as well as Joe the Creeper statue. His hill was also stripped away for more houses. It is important to note, however, Joe was rebuilt on a hill to his left. However, he was a shadow of his former self, and someone had now put black eyes on him. As time went on, the jungle civilization was now forgotten, and its shadow of its former self and the former trees that stood there now had many houses in their place. There was also a minecart track from the ender portal to the top of the map put in place, as well as the jungle temple was now taken over, and someone tried to make it into a fire castle. This was not going to be the last blow for the jungle civilization, however, and in July of 2020 the second part of the jungle was ordered to be destroyed. This was in return for a new modernised area for the new modern world. All the jungle trees were ordered to be destroyed, and all the hills in its place were ordered to be flattened. The once place that many players called home, and Auburn, the once jungle queen used to own, was now gone and forgotten, and most players who used to live here were also forgotten, and most whereabouts these players are unknown in the real world now. This is a perfect example of how easy it is to forget about a civilization over time, both in the real world and in the Minecraft world. The future of the jungle civilization is unknown, with most of the land now being incorporated into the actual city, and the jungle is now unrecognisable. Nearly 4 years after the original members founded the jungle civilization, the jungle is also no longer here, and the jungle civilization's history has long been since erased from the world. Most players in the world now do not know about the jungle civilization and instead just assume the land is part of the main city. The jungle civilization may return one day, however it is very doubtful, but one can only hope.